Hey, Pookie.
No physical contact allowed.
Won't be this way forever.
I hope not. Now, come on, positive outlook. Remember, that's what's going to get us through this trial, too. That and the truth, you're innocent. We're going to prove it.
Don't look now, but here comes the prosecution's first witness.
Courtney, having to testify like this must bring back terrible memories for you. I'm sorry you have to go through it again.
Don't waste your breath, Julie. You should be sent someplace a lot more secure than Ferncliff.
Try to understand, when I tied you up, I thought you had stolen my money. And either way, it was wrong. I was wrong. I hope someday you can forgive me.
Even if I could let go of what you did to me, I could never forget how you hurt Neil. He still wakes up from the nightmares about John.
He doesn't deserve that. He's an innocent little boy.
Who's had more than his share of pain. And there is nothing I could ever do to take it all away. But today, I will do whatever I can to make sure you pay.
Christina, would you look at this? Do you guys know how to throw a party or what?
Yeah, we know how to throw a party.
You sure do. Look at Christina's party dress. She's pretty in purple. Yes.
I'll go get that.
Okay, thank you. Hey, listen, are you okay?
It's my kid's birthday party. Why wouldn't I be okay?
Happy birthday. Hi, girlfriend.
I'm so glad that you guys came to my birthday party.
Well, I would not miss this for the world, girl.
Oh, why don't we grab those presents and make a pile of them over here?
That's a great idea.
Later. Ta-da. Hey.
Kevin, I figured you'd be at Julie's trial.
Oh, actually, I'm going over there later.
Yeah, well, if it weren't for the trial, things might be getting back to normal around here.
At least my life.
Did Taggart officially take you off the list of suspects of people who shot DV?
No. You know those idiot cops down there, they like to take their sweet time about everything they do, but I still want to thank you two for all the help.
Oh, we sure do want to thank you. Do you know, this is the best birthday present you could have given Serena, getting Scott's name cleared. Thank you.
Well, good. I hope you guys can enjoy it instead of having some black cloud hanging over your heads.
I don't know. I think Bordizzo's got a lot of clouds hanging around.
Something we don't know?
I should tell you guys, because you've been here helping me through all of this mess.
What is it, Scott? Just tell us.
Bordizzo is my biological father.
You have proof of that?
DNA test, ran him twice.
I'm speechless.
Well, good, because I don't want to talk about it. This is Serena's birthday, her big day, so...
Yes. So, let's just not say anything more about David Bordizzo. He ruined our lives for months and months, and that's over, and let's move on.
Hey!
Oh, no,
Excuse us. Hey.
Sure.
Hi.
DV is Scott's father? That's unbelievable.
Imagine how Scott feels.
You know, I hid my pregnancy to save my baby from DV. Do you think that Scott's mother probably did the same thing with him?
Sounds possible. But apparently keeping secrets from David Bordizzo isn't the best way to get rid of him.
Yeah, well, Bordizzo could drop dead tomorrow. But Scott and I, we're bound to that man forever.
Come on into the kitchen with me, Neil. I want to show you my birthday.
Got it.
Cool.
Okay.
No
horseplay.
Hanky-panky.
I was so glad to hear you were cleared of shooting DV.
Yeah, it's the best news I've had in some time.
Well, we have some good news to share of our own.
Do you really? Okay, tell.
Well, Courtney's baby, my baby, is a bone marrow match for Neil.
We're all very thrilled.
That's terrific.
That's wonderful. I know how difficult it's all been. I mean, I know some people didn't exactly approve of your decision, so that's neat.
Yeah, well, they'll realize that it wasn't a scientific experiment. I mean, I'm going to love this baby just like I love Neil.
Well, of course you will. I know you will.
I'm going to go see Neil.
Yeah, okay.
How are you with all this?
Well, Joe, having a baby with Courtney is going to have a big impact on our relationship.
I would think so. So have you, talked about that kind of impact? I mean, you know what I'm going for here. Have you?
You mean Joe has 2 kids already? Would he want to have more kids with me one day?
Yeah, that's tough, exactly. So?
Well, I hope he'll want more children, because I'd really like to have them.
Well, there's one diaper change.
Oh. Hey, little sister, come here and say hi. Hi.
Sticky situation, huh?
Yeah, it's tough, but I think, Joe's a good man. He's a good father. He'd do anything for his son,
Yeah, this puncher is...
Not like my so-called father.
just like you.
Lucy, I'm no hero.
But if anybody needed you, I know you'd be right there.
No, if it was Bordizo, I wouldn't lift a finger. So, what does that say about me?
That says that you're hurting and you're confused, but I know if even David Bordizo really needed you, you'd be there because that's the kind of man you are. And that's the kind of man he's not and never could be. He is a rat, and he doesn't deserve to have you as his son.
Don't refer to him as my father. I am never going to accept that.
Hey. You look good with the child in your arms.
Well, I need some first-hand experience. You're going to be a father again.
Well, raising a child from birth is going to be a whole new thing for me, too. But, if we learn how to do things now, we'll be pros by the time we have kids of our own.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Me, too. Look at that.
Oh, thinking about having kids makes you wonder how any mother could give up such an angel.
Hey, Darren. How are you?
Yes.
Good to
Matt.
see you.
What a surprise.
Well, it shouldn't be. Many of Julie's victims were friends of mine. I just want to make sure she's held accountable for all the pain that she has caused.
Well, I think this trial's going to prove she's not a murderer.
Well, I think it'll prove just the opposite.
We'll have to see, won't we?
Yeah.
Have you heard from Ellen?
No.
She made such a clean break to start over, but then sometimes people do that. I just hope she found the life she was looking for.
That was something, the way you stood up to Julie out in the hall.
Well, I did it for Neil. He's had too much pain in his short life.
It's a lot for a kid to handle.
It is. And that's exactly why I don't want you to tell anybody you're his father right now.
Let's get this straight, Courtney. I want Joe to hear the truth, not Neil.
Courtney, Frank, the trial's about to start.
Okay.
I'm ready. Your personal testimony about your relationship to the victim will humanize this tragedy for the jury.
You gonna be okay?
Well, I'm not crazy about reliving John's death. But I want Julie to go to prison for what she did. Listen, why don't you two wait outside and I'll call you when it's time to come in. Okay?
My fate, my little girl's fate, is in the hands of the people who are going to testify against me.
Come on, don't start to panic now.
Rachel was right. I should have tried to make amends with all of them. Come on. You just keep telling yourself Greg Cooper is the real culprit here, not you. If you believe it, Julie, the jury's going to believe it. Yeah, but either way, it's going to sound bad when Courtney tells them how she found me by John's body.
Yeah, let me handle Courtney.
You know, I'd rather you stayed out of this.
What, gamble on Julie's future? I don't think so. I'm gonna do whatever I can to get her acquitted, starting now.
All rise.
Everyone, please be seated.
Number one on the calendar of the day, the people of the state of New York versus Julie Devlin Ramsey. This court is now in session.
John Canelos came to this country for one reason: to be reunited with the son he loved. But instead of the joy and happiness he anticipated in his reunion, he was brutally stabbed to death on Halloween night, shattering his family, especially Neil Canelos, the young boy he came to be with. Over the course of this trial, we will present evidence that will prove to you
that Julie Devlin Ramsey killed John Canelos in a vicious, premeditated, heartless act of rage. A woman entrusted to save lives took one without a second thought or 1 ounce of remorse.
That's it.
Okay.
That's enough.
And we can make it straight ahead to lead into this. But it's another year older. My beautiful granddaughter is becoming quite a young lady.
Thank you.
So would you do me the honor of escorting me over to the refreshment table?
Why, I wouldn't miss a chance.
Excuse us.
Well, I guess I ought to get the birthday cake ready and candles.
Scotty, just wait a minute.
Oh, come on, here it comes.
Oh, sweetheart, I just want to tell you that I understand how hard it must be for you to accept David Bordiso as your biological father.
Well, it explains why I gave Lee so much trouble when I was younger.
Scotty, finding out about Bordiso, I mean, that's devastating, but it doesn't change who you are. And it's only natural to feel angry and frustrated and confused. But just don't fight those feelings, okay?
Well, I'm going to handle things my way.
I know you will, but if you ever want to talk about it, I'm here, and maybe I could make it a little easier for you.
I'm fine.
Just remember one thing. Lee and I both love you.
I know.
I know what you mean. Not too much of the party. We're back. We're back. Look, we're back. Yay, look, Lucy.
It's your turn. Oh, it's my turn. Oh, pin the tail on the baby. I can't pin the tail. Uh-oh, I need somebody to hold you. I need somebody's like... Eve, okay. Eve, would you mind holding Christina just while I pin a tail for a minute?
Of course, sure.
Okay,
How
good.
can I
There
say
you
no?
go. Thank you.
Hey. Hey, little one. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, this is a cool place. Wow, your mommy really rescued me. I'm not very good at pin the tail on the donkey. You know why? Last time I tried to play this game, I pinned the tail on the donkey's ear.
Looks like she likes you.
Oh, yeah. Feelings mutual. You know, Kevin, I used to think that I didn't deserve to be a mom. Maybe I was wrong.
You were.
Well, no, I'm not talking like right away or anything. You know, I mean, even I have to get used to the idea, but...
Well, what you got in mind?
Well, I'm not going to put a pillow inside of my clothes like Julie did and pretend I'm pregnant.
Julie, her trial must be starting.
Oh, that's right. Can you believe that Greg Cooper is going to take the blame for killing John Canelos?
Only I could prove that Cooper was coerced to testify. As if discrediting Cooper would be enough anymore.
Why would you say that?
Rachel Locke. The lady plays to win. And something tells me she has cards up her sleeve besides Greg Cooper.
John Canelos lost his life, but he's not the only victim. Julie Devlin Ramsey is a victim, too. A victim of the torture she endured at the hands of Greg Cooper.
I'm here, okay?
Now, the DA...
Oh, come on, Frank. You are Neil's father. Therefore, you must be the proud papa of this one as well.
Keep your mouth shut, would you?
Or I'll do it for you. Take it easy. I'm not looking for trouble. In fact, if you recall, I was the one who helped switch your blood sample for Joe's.
What do you want, Chris?
I was just hoping you would remember how helpful I was when you take the stand today.
Police know I found Julie standing over John's body. I have to testify to the truth.
Come on, Courtney. You're a clever girl. You've kept Neil's paternity secret this long and got away with it. Now you're having a second child with Frank. I'm sure you can find a way to put a positive spin on Julie's situation.
And why exactly would I want to do that?
Because you don't want to run the risk of Joe finding out the truth.
Chris, you can't say anything about Frank being the father of my kids. For Neil's sake.
Well, I wouldn't want to do anything to hurt that kid. But I do have a wife to protect, a wife I love very much. And you can relate to that, can't you, Courtney? Loving someone so much that you do anything in your power to protect them. Happy testifying. You're not considering
I have
doing
to
what...
think about Neil.
I can't believe you're thinking of perjuring yourself and possibly setting a murderer free, all to keep Neil's paternity a secret from Joe.
Carly will do whatever it takes
Don't you know that I would do anything for you?
to win Jason back.
You know I love you.
That doesn't matter anymore.
But has she met her match?
I got rid of one little angel, and I can get rid of you.
You want to fight? You'll get one.
Find out this week on General Hospital, ABC Daytime.
Over to the table and cut it out. Yes. Okay, will you help?
She gets the first piece.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't forget.
Don't drop it. Don't
Don't
drop it.
open it.
Okay, you got it. Come on, come on, Ashley. I'm in
Excuse us, but we have to go. I want to check in on Julie's trial.
Let me know how that turns out.
Will do.
Well, thanks. Bye, guys.
Thank
Hey,
See you guys.
take care.
On your way. Goodbye, gang.
Bye, everyone.
Keep it safe out there.
There's a little blonde cutie over there. She's having an absolutely terrific time.
That's because she's a great kid.
She is a great kid, and I love her very, very much, even though she doesn't happen to be my biological daughter.
I know where this is going.
So let me finish. I love you. Christina loves you. Serena loves you just as much as the day we found out you're related to Stevie. I think I love you more just because I know you need me.
Well, I love you too. Horns and all.
I love you very, very much, and I don't want you ever, ever to forget that, okay? Uh-oh.
Taggart. Hey, no donuts, but I'm sure we can find you a lollipop.
Hi. Listen, I got some good news, and I wanted to tell you in person. David Bordizzo has retracted his claim that you shot him.
He didn't want the perjury charges, huh?
Well, whatever his reasons, his new statement will allow us to officially close the case against you, Scott.
Officially, that's
Great
fantastic.
news.
That's
It is.
fantastic.
Well, Scott, maybe now you can just put Bordiso behind you.
I already have. I'm not going to give him a second thought.
Mrs. Canelos, did you attend a costume party last Halloween night?
I did.
Were John Canelos and Julie Devlin at that party?
Yes, they were.
And did you see them together?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell the court the circumstances under which you saw them? Julie! Julie!
Julie was standing over John's body. He had been stabbed.
And did it appear to you that Julie had stabbed your ex-husband?
Objection. She's asking the witness to draw a conclusion.
I'm merely asking her how Mrs. Canelos perceived a situation she saw firsthand.
Overruled. Answer the question, please.
Well, I don't remember thinking at the time that Julie might have stabbed him. I was only concerned about John.
But did she say or do anything that might indicate that she had stabbed John Canelos?
As best as I can remember, when I came upon John and Julie, she was trying to help him, you know, trying to stop the bleeding.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Mrs. Canelos, may I remind you that you are under oath? Are you trying to tell me that Julie Devlin Ramsey was offering medical attention to John Canelos on the night he was murdered?
That's how it seemed.
But you didn't say so the night of the murder. Your exact words were, the first thing I saw was Julie standing over John's body. She was just standing there. And I rushed over to John where he was lying. See, there's nothing in this statement that says anything about Julie helping the victim.
I was upset.
Well, what's the real story, Mrs. Canellos? Was Julie Devlin Ramsey actually trying to help the victim? Or was she simply standing next to the body?
Eve, I'm on my way to Julie's trial.
Wait.
Oh, you need a lift to the hospital?
I have another proposition for you instead.
For now or later?
I say we skip the update on Julie's trial.
Why?
So we can go see Greg Cooper instead.
I'm waiting, Miss Canellos. Which way was it? When you discovered the defendant with John Canellos, was she giving him medical assistance, or was she simply standing over his body?
I told you, Julie was trying to help John.
Which contradicts the statement you made to the police the night of the murder. Why are you changing your testimony?
Sure you can find a way to put a positive spin on Julie's situation?
And why exactly would I want to do that?
Because you don't want to run the risk of Joe finding out the truth. Do you?
Miss Canellos?
Things are much clearer now than they were the night of the murder, and I have to say, to the best of my recollection, when I found my ex-husband's body, Julie was trying to resuscitate him.
While she was standing there?
She stood afterwards.
Well, when did you decide what you saw?
I didn't decide. My memory became clear.
Okay, well, what exactly did you see? Was it mouth-to-mouth, CPR? Was she checking for his pulse?
Well, as I remember, Julie was trying to stop the bleeding, loosen his clothing.
Well, you also said in your statement that the defendant was covered in blood.
Well, that makes sense. Julie's a doctor. She probably got it trying to save John.
Well, wouldn't it also make sense if she were the murderer?
Objection.
Overruled? You may answer.
I guess it's possible, but I wouldn't know. All I do know is that I saw Julie trying to save John.
No further questions.
You may cross-examine, Mr. Leopold.
No questions at this time.
We'll take a 10-minute recess.
This is a miracle. Yes, it certainly is.
How'd it go?
You want to tell me exactly what happened in there?
Well, when I was sworn in, I realized I had to be very sure about my answers.
You were sure about different answers before.
I testified to what I remembered. I was supposed to tell the truth. That's what I did.
10 minutes ago, you were adamant about Julie paying for her crimes. Now, I don't know what game it is you're playing, but it would have been nice if you'd have told me you were going to change your testimony.
I didn't change my testimony. I remembered the facts more clearly. There is a big difference.
Okay, if you're lying, I am going to nail you for perjury.
So have you changed your mind about Julie's guilt yet?
Well, Courtney was only one witness, Chris. You guys got a long way to go before you can claim victory.
Oh, but we will claim it. And I just hope you're here in the courtroom to witness it yourself. Take care.
Hey, something tells me you had a lot to do with Courtney's testimony.
Courtney just called it the way she remembered it.
With a little push in the right direction. Come on, tell. How did you get her to come over to our side?
I just told Courtney that you didn't deserve to be cooped up in Ferncliff any longer.
Right. Well, I like the way you handle things.
Oh, get used to it, Mrs. Ramsey.
I already have. This could turn out to be a brilliant idea.
Part of me agrees with you. The other part thinks I should be at Julie's trial.
Well, you want to prove that Rachel Locke coerced Cooper into admitting he did the murders, right?
Right. I also said it wasn't going to be easy.
Well, you'll never know if you don't try.
I already went to see him, remember? I doubt he'll have a sudden change of heart and admit anything to us.
Probably not. However,
You and I have enough experience with Cooper to know whether he is telling us the truth or messing with our heads.
And he's an expert at head messing.
Well, you are an expert at spotting it. And I don't think I'm so bad myself.
You know, maybe together we can get something out of him.
It's worth a shot.
With the trial underway, we don't have any time to waste.
Which is why we need to see Cooper right now,
If we want Julie to stay where she belongs, where she can get help, we have to act fast.
Right, and I'm all for keeping a crazy killer behind bars.
I'm convinced. You got a date.
Cooper is smart, but he is no match for Holmes and Holmes.
Then let's go. Cooper ain't gonna know what hit him.
Okay.
Hey. It's getting late, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe they won't call you to testify today.
Maybe not.
Frank. Don't be angry with me.
Too late.
Won't you even let me try to explain why I changed my testimony?
I already know. Chris Ramsey's a jerk, and you're a bigger one for giving him what he wants.
Why are you making this into such a big deal?
You would rather perjure yourself and let a murderer go free than risk Joe finding out he's not Neil's father.
If I thought Julie would go free, I would have never said it the way I did in there.
Same old tap dance, Courtney.
There are plenty of other people who are going to testify to Julie being a nutcase.
Eyewitnesses who saw Julie standing over John Canellis' body?
I did what I did to protect our children.
Oh, yeah, right.
Do you really want Chris blabbing all over town that you're Neil's father?
No, but I wouldn't mind if he told Joe, and I think that's all he was threatening to do.
How do you know he wasn't going to tell Neil?
It's not Chris's style.
Well, you can't be sure of that. And I don't want Neil finding out from Chris Ramsey that Joe's not his father, do you?
Oh, Courtney, they may have bought your act in there, but I'm not.
I'm telling you the truth.
Truth isn't your thing today. Oh, look, you don't need to wait here with me.
But we came over in the same car.
I'll take a cab.
Oh, come on, Frank. Please don't be angry with me. I did what I thought was best.
For you.
For all of us. And that doesn't mean I'm never going to be honest with Joe.
You know, I was actually starting to believe that you were letting go of Joe. But no more. Today, you proved you were never going to change.
No further questions for this witness.
Court is adjourned for today. We'll resume at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
I'd say the first day went well.
Surprisingly so.
This goodbye stuff really stinks.
Big time.
I don't know what's harder, is seeing you when I know they're going to take you away, or not seeing you at all.
Anything is better than not seeing you at all.
Well, when you beat this rep, we'll go to a fancy restaurant and indulge ourselves. Just stare at each other all night, okay?
How about a picnic? Miles away from the nearest building, wall, or confined space.
You got it.
What are you trying to do, Colin? Squeeze in as many visits as you can before the new millennium?
Greg, I thought you liked my visits.
Oh, I do. Oh, and Evelyn Ray. Looking as lovely as ever. Gosh, I haven't seen you since...
You tried to brick me into a wall? Gee, how could I forget that?
Well, it was a fun day.
Not if you were the bricky.
Always the clever comebacks. Well, she's cute, don't you think? Must be why you landed yourself a doctor. Congratulations, Evie. You've done good for yourself.
Too bad I can't say the same for you, Greg.
I thought you two would have front row center seats at the courthouse today.
Oh, we can go to Julie's trial anytime. We thought you'd be a lot more entertaining.
Flattery. Warms a man's heart. What do you want?
Just a couple answers.
Genius's work is never done. Okay, fire away.
Well, we realized that the big day's almost here. Are you ready to confess to all those murders?
That doesn't sound like the Greg Cooper I used to know. You know, the one who took all of us interns hostage because he felt like his rights were being violated. What happened to that, Greg?
You're looking right at him. Ah, it's fun walking down memory lane, though, isn't it?
It's hard to believe you would take the blame for somebody else's crimes.
I wouldn't.
You know, they say that people often find the truth in these places. Is that what that is?
Have you ever known me to lie?
We saw the warden before we came here.
Oh, goody.
Remember Pitbull?
Yeah, my buddy who decided he liked my face better with a little color in it, so he made it black and blue.
It's just incredible how you got beat up by Pitbull exactly one day before you decided to confess.
Hysterical.
Did you know that Pitbull's privileges have been increased? He has a solitary cell, more time in the exercise yard. They even pushed up his parole date. Can you believe that?
Wow. Well, you don't think that... Did Rachel Locke pay Pitbull to smash Greg's face in?
Well, if what Greg told me before is true...
Then that would make sense, wouldn't it?
I can't believe that she could get away with that she would actually have you beaten up and then promise to have you transferred out of here away from Pitbull, all in exchange for taking the rap for Julie.
I can't believe you bought that story.
Not only did I buy it, I think Rachel has you wrapped around her little finger.
No way.
She's getting exactly what she wants out of this deal, but what do you get? Besides a promise from Rachel Locke that you'll be transferred out?
Deep down, do you really trust her? Do you really trust her with your future?
What guarantee do you have that you won't rot in here once she gets what she wants from you?
Bravo. Bravo! Excellent effort. Unfortunately, your little trip here has been a huge waste of time, both mine and yours. I'm going on that stand and confessing to those murders.
You don't have to do that, Greg.
What do you give a damn whether I do this or not?
Because if the scenario that we just painted is accurate, a dangerous, disturbed woman will be released into society.
You must have me mistaken for somebody who cares.
All we want is the truth, Greg, please.
I hate to break it to you kids, but I'm confessing to the murders. And guess what? Julie, Marcia Cooper Morse Devlin Ramsey will probably be walking the streets of good old Port Charles before you can say general homicide.
Mrs. Ramsey. My darling, surprise. How did I know you'd check under your pillow?
Maybe because I knew you'd be remembering I put your wedding ring there before. Maybe because we're so connected. And if we're connected now, think how we'll be when we're actually together. People who try to keep us apart don't know who they're dealing with. The dynamic duo, Mulder and Scully, Siegfried and Roy. Magic, any way you look at it.
You lovable romantic nut.
Even though our minds and our hearts are linked, there are still a lot of things I don't know about my bride. So, I've created a love questionnaire. Circle your choices and get back to me.
Hot or cold? Hot. Stocks or bonds? Oh, stocks, riskier.
Risks are more fun. 49ers or Cowboys? Oh, 49ers, no contest. Merlot or Chardonnay? Oh, it has been so long. Merlot. Chocolate. The ocean. A fireplace. Black lace. Can't wait to read your answers or to hold you in my arms. Missing you. Your loving husband, Chris. AKA Love Bug. My darling hubby. You have got to be kidding me.
No, I'm serious. I really think we had an effect on him.
Excuse me, were we at the same meeting just now?
Greg Cooper is the best I have ever seen at covering his feelings.
Yes. He is the cockiest son of a gun I've ever met.
My experience tells me we threw him.
Well, I don't know about that, but I do know that he's sticking to his story.
Then we just have to find the perfect button to push.
You two think you're so smart. Two doctors, but you're stupid. Concentrating on Julie and me. You think you know everything, but I know something that you don't. The real danger to poor Charles is walking around in an Armani suit. If you really want to keep your pretty little city safe, the person you should be running out of town is one of your own colleagues. Yes, attractive and soft-spoken. Lethal. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a hint. Her initials are Rachel Locke. Don't say I never did you any favors, all right?
Looks like we've been trying to crack the wrong nut.
Dr. James Wrightson.
Sure was nice to see Julie leave court with a smile on her face today.
Yes, it was. I think things went real well.
I think we have you to thank for that.
No, not really. We're all working for the same thing, getting Julie out of Ferncliff and back with Christine and me, right?
Absolutely.
Well, today's testimony just brought us one step closer to accomplishing our goal.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I take it you didn't escort Julie back to Ferncliff.
No, I couldn't. I'm going to be in court every day of her trial, so I need to keep caught up with my patients.
Great.
How long are you going to keep this from me?
Am I keeping something from you?
What it is you have on Courtney Canellos that made her lie on the stand?
This is really eating you up inside, isn't it?
No. But it is intriguing. Besides, if you get caught for tampering with a witness, you might need me to back you in your defense.
I didn't tamper. I simply reminded Courtney of something she'd forgotten.
5563.
Well, your idea, it worked this time.
5563.
But don't take chances with Julie's case.
Rachel, I wouldn't jeopardize Julie's future. But I will do whatever it takes to get her acquitted, even if that means taking a few risks.
Look, I know you're driven, Chris. But you don't need to take risks. I'm going to get Julie freed without the help of Courtney Canellos or anyone else.
So, can you stay for a while?
Nope. I just came in so I could get this tape and I'm out of here.
Frank. Are you ever going to forgive me for changing my testimony?
You mean for lying under oath? Doing your part to put a murderer back on the streets? Also, Joe won't find out that I am Neil and this baby's father? Will I ever forgive you? No.
What do I have to do to change your mind?
You don't get it, do you, Courtney? You've gone too far this time.
Frank, it had nothing to do with my feelings for you. And I'm going to tell Joe you're the father. I swear. I just have to do it in my own time.
That is the same old song, and I've heard enough. I have had it with Ramsey and his threats, Julie and her games, and you and your lies.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to get on the stand, and I'm going to tell the truth. The whole truth, and whatever happens, happens.
I heard you were testifying today.
And you rushed right over here to give me your support?
No, the prosecution's called me as an expert witness.
How can they do that? You were Julie's psychiatrist.
In certain cases, the doctor-patient privilege is waived.
Oh, remind me never to spill my guts to you.
I don't like it. But Julie didn't leave me any choice. I'm sure you don't like testifying against her either, unless you're planning to slant the testimony in her favor.
I'm going to tell the truth. Julie's sick. She shouldn't be out there walking around. The end. Well, looks like you and me finally have something in common other than being stepbrothers.
Glad to hear it.
Frank,
Courtney, what are you doing here?
well, somebody's got to keep you from wrecking our lives.
I found a surprise under my pillow last night.
Was it a visit from the tooth fairy?
Only if she was your messenger. Thank you. When you're locked in a place like Ferncliff, something as simple as a note can be like a lifeline.
Did you fill out the questionnaire?
And I will let you see it as soon as you tell me how you smuggle things into my room.
Hey, don't let him get to you.
Well, I chose him as my shrink because I thought he could understand me better than anyone. How could I have been so wrong?
Oh, just forget about him. You gotta focus on Frank, okay? He's up first. Now, I want you to think, is there anything we could use to break his testimony?
I haven't spoken with Frank in months.
Since you accused him of stealing your money?
Well, we both played a lot of mind games. But deep down, he cared. Maybe his testimony won't be all that bad.
Okay, who are you and where's my wife?
What? The optimist?
Yeah.
Why not? If Frank won't come over to our side on his own, maybe you can get him to reconsider his testimony the way you did with Courtney.
I wish it were that easy. Unfortunately, Frank holds grudges.
Hey, I'm glad you made it.
I got out of my meeting as soon as I could.
Good, come in.
Yeah. You know, your message sounded urgent. It's something new with DV?
No.
Condition change?
No, nothing like that.
Scott, it's nothing wrong with Lucy or the kids, is it?
No. Everything's fine.
Well, what is it then?
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
Let's get to it. What's this offer I can't refuse?
Okay, I think that we should be in partnership together.
Baldwin and Baldwin?
Yes, sounds great.
It's a little sudden, isn't it?
Well, no, let's look at this. I can help with your caseload. I mean, ever since Bordizzo's goons beat you up and your surgery...
Oh, well, look, I'm not 100% yet.
That's the beauty of it. You can sit back, take it easy. I'll do all the work.
Sounds like you got this all worked out, Scott.
Yes, I do. We can go into the Baldwin building. It's half full right now. We can take the top floor over.
Look, let's just slow down here a minute.
All right, we don't have to go into the Baldwin building. We'll go someplace else.
No, that isn't it.
Do you remember that little space we had when I got out of law school?
Of course I do. We had some interesting times
well,
there.
Well, we can have more interesting times. I've got the agreement all drawn up here.
Scott.
Listen, don't worry. I've given you top billing, Baldwin and Baldwin.
Scott, stop it now, please. I know what you're doing, and my answer's no.
Frank, if you get up there and you go on like Julie is the second coming of Lizzie Borden, Chris will tell the world that Neil is your son and not Joe's.
I am not changing my testimony to help Julie like you did. I don't want her to get off.
Neither do I. But in the long run, it won't make any difference the way either one of us testifies. The prosecution has tons of stuff against her.
You don't know that. You're taking a hell of a chance.
Yeah, well, I will do anything to protect Neil. He is weak, and he is vulnerable, and if it comes out that Joe is not his father, it could really hurt him. I thought you cared about him, too.
Don't you dare. Not after everything I've done for my son. I love Neil, and you know it.
Then don't do this to him.
Forget it, Courtney. Chris Ramsey can play emotional blackmail all he wants, so can you. I'm still telling the truth.
I know you'll do the right thing. We're meal.
Dr. Locke.
Kevin, I thought you would have been here yesterday.
Surprised I'd missed the opening day of testimony, huh?
Yes, very much so.
Well, I was busy. Doing some investigating.
Something to do with the trial?
The trial. And you.
Me. Still digging into my background, are you?
Well, I'm just so darn fascinated with you. There's so much we don't know.
I already told you. All you had to do was ask. Or is part of the pleasure the hunt?
Something like that.
I'm just afraid once you ferret out all my secrets, you're going to be very disappointed.
Kevin. Hi, it's good to see you.
Dara, good to see you, too.
If you'll excuse me, I'm going to have a word with Julie's attorney before we start.
Sure.
There.
I understand things didn't go so well yesterday.
Oh, well, Courtney Canello suddenly remembered that Julie wasn't standing next to the body, but actually kneeling, trying to help.
Curious how witnesses keep changing their testimony to help Julie.
Yeah.
First Cooper, now Courtney. I wonder why that is.
Wish I knew.
I just might.
Why be so negative? Frank cared about me.
Yeah, but you're Mrs. Chris Ramsey now. And there's no one Frank hates more than me. Julie, we're almost ready to start.
Is Frank still scheduled to be up first?
Yes. And we have very high hopes for Mr. Scanlon.
Meaning?
To put it mildly, we're going to mop the floors with him.
Why are you against this? I'm a good lawyer.
Yeah, of course you are.
Okay, so my reputation's been a little sketchy.
No, your reputation is not the issue here.
Well, then what's wrong? We'd make a good team.
What's wrong is that you just found out that David Bordiso is your biological father.
So, big deal.
So whenever anything overwhelming hits you, Scott, you go into free fall. Like when Laura left you. You took off from Mexico. And when Dominique died, you suddenly get engaged to Catherine Bell.
Well, let's not forget Canada, then. Thank you for pointing out all of my mistakes.
Oh. Look, I'm just trying to point out a pattern, Scott. I mean, this David Bordiso business, you can't dismiss with just a wave of your hand. Or this sudden newfound determination to go back to something you and I once had. I mean, you got to take time to process this information.
It's meaningless information.
No. Once you have done that, then you'll be free to do anything you want.
Which is to go and practice with you.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I want to do. And I'm going to want to do that in 6 months from now. What about all this pro bono work you've been talking about doing?
Yes, I still want to do that.
Well, we can do it together. We can help a lot of people.
Scott, you don't have to prove that you're a good person.
I'm not doing that.
Yes, you are. You're doing everything you possibly can to prove you're not David Bordiso's son. Now, why don't you just admit it?
How long have you known the defendant?
2 years, a little more.
At one time, you had a very close relationship with her, didn't you? In fact, you were lovers.
Yes.
On the night John Canellos was murdered, you and the defendant were on a date, were you not?
That's right.
Would you describe for us what was going on that night?
It was Halloween, and we went to a big costume party.
And did it appear to you that Julie was having fun?
Objection. The witness is not qualified to judge her state of mind.
Overruled. I think the witness was close enough to the defendant to know whether or not she was enjoying herself. Mr. Scanlon?
Not really. She was kind of on edge.
Well, did anything in particular happen that make you believe that she was not having a good time?
At one point, she said it felt like the walls were closing in on her. She said she had to go outside for some air.
And did she?
Yes.
Did you go with her?
No, she went by herself. I went outside later looking for her, but I couldn't find her anywhere.
But you did finally come across her.
Yes. She was in the funhouse, standing over the dead body of John Canellos.
She wasn't kneeling, trying to revive him.
No.
Well, sounds like her claim that she needed some fresh air was all a lie.
Objection. Counsel is editorializing.
Sustained. Miss Jensen, keep in mind Mr. Scanlon is the one offering the testimony here, not you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. How did Julie appear to you when you found her standing over the body?
She was upset. Like she was really freaked out about what she'd done.
Objection. The witness had no knowledge that she had done anything.
Sustained. The witness's last statement is to be stricken from the record.
Like it matters now, they can't erase it from their minds.
Thank you, Mr. Scanlon. You were very helpful. No more questions.
You relax. We're not finished with Frank Scanlon yet.
In the statement you gave police on the night in question, there is not one word that indicates that you felt that the defendant had murdered John Canellos.
At the time, I didn't think that she'd done it.
Also, you changed your mind.
Yes.
It all became clear to you.
That's right.
But on that night, you said that you didn't believe that Julie was even capable of murder.
Right.
And that you cared for her deeply.
Yes.
And then the relationship ended, and then you just changed your mind.
Objection. Defense is putting words in the witness's mouth.
Sustained. Mr. Leopold.
Sorry, Your Honor. Just out of curiosity, Mr. Scanlon, what were you doing that night when Julie stepped out to get some air?
I don't remember exactly.
So you can tell us in detail what Julie was doing, but you can't recall what you were doing.
That's right.
Let me help you out. You let Julie go out there alone so that you could score an illegal drug called DL-56.
Objection. Irrelevant.
Applies to the witness' state of mind on the night in question, Your Honor. If his judgment was clouded because of drugs, the jury has a right to know that.
I'll allow it. The witness will answer the question.
DL-56 was a medication I was taking for a while.
Ah, and this medication wasn't approved by the FDA, was it?
No.
And you were, in fact, addicted to it, weren't you?
No, not really.
Were you or were you not under the influence of an illegal, mind-altering drug on the night that John Canellos was murdered?
The only reason I was taking it was because Chris Ramsey made sure I stayed hooked.
Oh, so you're testifying here that because of your hatred of Dr. Ramsey, who incidentally married the woman that you once loved...
Objection. The witness is not on trial.
Do you expect the jury to take the word of a drug addict who holds a grudge against the defendant's husband?
Objection.
Withdraw the question. I have nothing else for this witness.
You're excused, Mr. Scanlon. We'll take a short recess, return in 15 minutes.
All rise.
Oh, first one out the door. All set to rub it in?
No, Frank.
I came off looking like some lying junkie in there. You must be thrilled.
Well, I have to admit, I'm glad your testimony didn't bury Julie. But I don't like what Darren Leopold did in there. I could see how much it was hurting you, and I hated it, Frank. I really did.
This is how you always play it. You ask me to do something I don't want, and then when things somehow go your way, you're all sugar.
Why are you blaming me for what happened
I am
in
just
there?
sick of you doing anything to get what you want. Sure, you feel bad that I got raked over the coals in there, but you are as happy as hell that Chris Ramsey got what he wanted. Anything to keep your little secret, right, Courtney? Including lying on the stand.
It is so unfair.
Yeah, well, things are tough all over.
Maybe Bordizo had something to do with the timing of this, but I still want to be in partnership with you.
Well, I have been thinking about that since the first day you started law school.
Well, then let's forget about Bordizo. I mean, what's stopping us?
Probably because we're both so stubborn, we'd end up arguing about what color our yellow pad should be.
Blue. Come on, we can work that stuff out.
Well, I'm sure we can. But not until the time is right.
Bordizo. Again and again, he's ruining my life.
Yeah. You're confused here, and I wish I knew what to tell you, but I don't have all the answers. I don't know how you're going to resolve this business with DV, but I know you will.
Yes, I will. Hello?
Scott, it's Kevin. I need your help.
What can I do? What's up?
Well, the trial's going very well. For Julie.
Hold on a second, Kevin. It's Kevin. He's at Julie's trial.
How's it going?
Well, it's going well for her.
All right, you take that. I got to go downtown, take a deposition. We'll continue this conversation later.
Okay, partner. Kevin, how can I help you?
I need you to connect with Rachel Locke. Find out anything that you can.
About?
Her. As in, why is she so determined to see Julie get free?
I'll do what I can.
Well, could you make it happen? This trial's gonna be over soon.
And from the sound of it, Julie's about to be acquitted again.
Which would be fine if we knew she was innocent.
Yeah, but we don't. Well, I'm on it. I'll let you know. Bye.
Frank may actually have done us some good today. I mean, he took a few hits, but overall he didn't exactly come off as Mr. Believable.
So weird. I thought Frank knew me well enough to know that I couldn't murder anyone.
He bought the party line.
Well, thank God he doesn't know about Christina. He's so angry with me, so convinced I'm guilty. If he realized we had a daughter...
Julie, Frank will never get his hands on Christina, okay? The guy wasn't destined to be a father.
I'm so glad you're here.
Me too.
You can't imagine what it's like to sit here and listen to every dog in Port Charles say how my life should turn out.
You're innocent. And now we're proving.
Yeah, and by the time I'm out of here, I doubt I'll even remember what it feels like to be a normal person.
You were normal?
Hey, watch it.
All I mean is ever since I first laid eyes on you, you always seemed more than normal. Where's my questionnaire? Am I ever going to get to see it? What?
Well, you have been pretty good today. If you, search through a certain pocket, you just might find it. Read it. Read it.
My darling hubby. Nice. This is probably going to suck, but even if it does, tell me it's the best thing since sliced bread anyway. I keep waiting for you to decide to abandon ship, but you keep showing up. You must have taken some very severe blows to the head as a child. Whatever the reason, you're sticking around. You're here. That is awe-inspiring. Don't go away. I know you won't. You're Pookie.
Well...
It's the best love letter I ever got. Of course, it's the only one I ever got. Still, it's a keeper. And so are you.
What's up? Nothing. You sure?
Well, it's personal.
Husbands and wives are allowed to have some secrets, aren't they? Of course.
Talk to Locke?
Thank you. What's the message? Nothing.
Nothing. It's personal.